everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and today I thought I'd talk about a book I just finished because I need to discuss what it did to my heart. And that book is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. So I was not expecting this book to be the way that it is. I knew it talked about domestic abuse, but I was not expecting it to handle it in the way that it did. And the twist in this book, it's not really a twist, but I just was not expecting the situation to happen. So I would definitely check trigger warnings on this book. It is quite graphic in some parts, at least to me. So I'm not going to give any spoilers at the beginning of this video, but there will be a point where I just let you know, hey, if you don't want to hear any spoilers, it's okay if you go, because I need to talk about how this book traumatized me. So this book centers on our main character, Lily, and it's told from two time perspectives. So we have the present and the past. So the book starts off in the present, and Lily has just attended her father's funeral, and there's a lot of emotions tied up in that. So she goes to the closest rooftop she can find. She just needs some space. And coincidentally, there's a guy up there as well, and that is Ryle. So there's an immediate attraction. He's kind of like the perfect man, like every girl's dream guy. He's charming, he's sweet, he's funny, he's confident, and he's honest. But after that night, Lily and Ryle don't talk again until they run into each other a little bit later. So the present kind of focuses on their relationship and their love story. So the past is told in the form of journal entries to Ellen DeGeneres, which I thought was cute. But it's Lily as a teenager, and it focuses on her parents' relationship, which is abusive. Her father is abusive to her mother. And also, Lily ends up meeting this homeless boy who's crashing in the house next door. His name is Atlas. So Lily ends up bringing him food and kind of helping him out, and they slowly build a relationship as well. And the past perspective kind of focuses on Lily and Atlas's relationship and love story. This book is very emotional and sometimes graphic in certain parts. This book does a really good job of portraying domestic abuse and kind of the highs and lows and how hard it is to leave an abusive relationship. This book definitely opened my eyes and helped me understand why it's difficult to leave an abusive relationship and kind of the rationalization that goes on. I do recommend this book. I just definitely think you should also check the trigger warnings because this book has a couple instances that are a bit rough. Okay, so now is the point where I'm gonna say, if you don't want spoilers, if you haven't read this yet, I would recommend maybe not watching the rest of the video. I'd love you here, but also I want to talk about this book because at the beginning of this book, I was falling in love with Ryle right along with Lily. You can see in my annotations, they're mostly at the beginning of the book because I was just loving Ryle. And I was like, yes, this is going to be a nice, spicy romance. And I was kind of, I don't know, thinking the abuse was going to be somewhere else in the book. But of course, it was Ryle. The first time he laid his hands on her, I was done. I even annotated it in here. I highlighted it because I literally wrote, and so it begins. Because I knew that that was not going to be the last time. If someone puts their hands on you ever, they're probably going to do it again, and it's probably going to escalate. But there's a quote in here, something that Lily was thinking, and it really got to me. She said, 15 seconds, that's all it takes to completely change everything about a person. And that's how I felt about Ryle. I was done. I didn't want to read any more about him. And from my perspective, I was kind of like, why would you stay with him after that? But, of course, she does stay with him for quite a bit longer, and there's a couple more abusive instances. And I feel like that was me being kind of ignorant, almost. Because that's how Lily, before she was with Ryle, that's how Lily saw her parents. She was thinking, I'm never going to let a man treat me like my dad treats my mom. I'm never going to let a man touch me. If he ever does, I'm gone. But that's not how it goes with Ryle. And I feel like this book really helped demonstrate that feeling of, well, he didn't mean to do it. He's really sorry. He looks like he really feels bad. He's never going to do it again. It was kind of hard to get through that part of the book because I wanted her to leave Ryle so bad. But yeah, no, I was not expecting Ryle to be abusive, and once he was, it kind of broke my heart, and that part of the book was just so hard to read. You can even see, just showing my annotations again, but you can see like I didn't even annotate anything. I was just trying to get through it. But then also all throughout the book, while Lily's in this relationship with Ryle and being abused, we get these like flashbacks to Atlas, I just love Atlas. So the last time that Ryle abuses Lily, that one affected me the most because that one was not, like, could not have been accidental. It was so intentional, and it was just really, it was kind of graphic. And I was so glad when she decided to call Atlas. And Atlas, he's just so, I love how protective Atlas is, and I love how sweet he is. I'm so glad she had him. And I love that in the end, Lily does not decide to stay with Ryle. I literally told myself, I was like, if she stays with Ryle at the end of this book, I am done. I am done. I'm done. But she doesn't. She chooses to divorce him, and I am so glad. And to just be positive for a second, because this whole review has been kind of sad, I love the little moment that her and Atlas have at the end of the book. I loved the last sentence of the book. It is Atlas telling Lily, "You can stop swimming now, Lily. We've finally reached the shore." I feel like that was the perfect way to close off the book, and I love that quote from Atlas. And it makes me so excited to see her with Atlas, and I can't wait to read the next book. But I would say my overall review of this book is 4 out of 5 stars. Only because when I got to the middle of this book, it was kind of hard to keep reading, and I don't usually have that issue, but that makes sense because it was a rough part to read, but it needed to be. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to hear me talk about more books and possibly some other content, be sure to like, subscribe, and maybe comment some book recommendations for me, or let me know your thoughts on It Ends With Us. Is it overhyped? What do you think? But yeah, see you later.